Whoa! Before you do anything, I've got a few things you've got to do. Click the subscribe button. Why? So you're always notified on another video that'll be coming your way. And also, make sure to click the like button. It helps us out and it knows that you're liking my stuff. So I'll make more of it for you. And you've probably got a few links that are going to be in this blog post. And obviously, you can't click links on YouTube. So I want you to go to the link in the description. Click it and you'll go straight to the blog post or wherever I put resources there. Okay? So, we'll recap. Subscribe, like, link in description. Well then, that's enough of me. Enjoy your video. Bye! 5 principles proven by science that instantly boost your performance at work. By Vishen. Have you ever wondered, is there some sort of science that would give you the answer on what exactly you need to do at work to get recognised, to get to that next raise, to climb up in terms of your level in a company, or to give your best work to the world if you work for yourself? Well, there is a lot of science on this, and one of the foremost thinkers Vishen pays attention to when he is trying to understand how to get his best work done is a guy by the name of Steven Kotler. Perhaps you have heard of him. He has wrote some of the most significant books of the last 7 years, including Abundance, The Future is Better, Bold, How to Go Big, The Rise of Superman, and Stealing Fire. Steven Kotler has been studying for years and years to try to understand scientifically what it takes to be the best you can be at your work, and the 5 pillars that he looks at. His newest work where he integrates these 5 elements is called The Habit of Veracity. And the Mindvalley team are extremely excited because they are going to be bringing this to Mindvalley. But what I want to do in this blog is share with you the 5 principles of the habit of veracity that you can easily implement in your life and in your company in a short matter of time. In fact, if you're willing to take action, you can do this in a week. That will positively change the way you function. So, the first one is motivation, flow, risk-taking, learning, and then grit. Now, the first thing I want you to understand is that the word veracity may seem fierce and aggressive. However, this is not what Steven Kotler is talking about. Rather, what he wants you to do is embrace the habit of veracity. All that means is that you are fierce towards your goal, but you're doing it in a state of ease, flow, and gentleness, where almost as if you're doing a beautiful dance. So, what are the 5 qualities of the habit of veracity? Well, the first one is motivation. Motivation comes from knowing purpose. So, if you want to rapidly boost motivation in your company and get people more engaged in what they do and more excited about their job, by the way, that applies to you as well. Here is a simple hack from Steven Kotler and Daniel Pink. And it's called reminding yourself of the big purpose. So, here's what Vishen does at Mindvalley. One of the best ways to remind you of your purpose is to ensure that you pay attention to how you change customers' lives. So, many people who work in large companies are not directly in touch with the customer. And so, they may be doing great work, but they don't see those lives changed. One of the things Vishen does is have a person within Mindvalley. Her name is Martha. And her full-time job is to be a tribe storyteller. Martha travels the world and films stories about customers, then puts them on a YouTube channel called the Mindvalley Tribe. And you know what? These stories don't just inspire other customers, but they are primarily used to inspire the Mindvalley team. At every weekly company gathering, Martha is the first person on stage sharing stories and slides of how we changed our customers' lives. Now, can you do this in your work? Yes, and if you do, you're going to see massive raise in motivation. Now, the second term is called flow. Now, flow is a really powerful idea that brings out the best in you, but here's what Steven Kotler says. To get in the state of flow, you've got to have a challenge that is slightly above your skill level. If the challenge is too high, you feel anxiety. If the challenge is too low, you get bored. The optimal amount of challenge above your skill level, according to Steven Kotler, is 4%. So, how do we put ourselves in flow? Simple. You give yourself a goal that is slightly beyond what you know right now. So many people set goals based on who they are right now and what they know right now. But the problem is that leads to stagnation. You want to set your goal for what you are going to learn and who you are going to be. A classic example of this is how Vishen does at Mindvalley. He has a woman called Ola. Ola is someone who organises Mindvalley's events all around the world, but what's unique about her is that every time she nails the formula for an event and she makes it successful and almost automated, she sets her sights on putting on a new event in a new country and in a new region, even though she knows she might fail. Now, by giving herself such a challenge, she is constantly excited about her job, and the best of all, she pushes herself to keep going. Now, the third element is risk-taking. Risk-taking is a rather interesting concept. Within Mindvalley, what they do for risk-taking is to ensure that everyone who is leading a team sets a goal for the year that they know they have a 50% chance at failing at. So, let's think about this for a moment. You're not just setting goals that you are aiming to hit. You are setting at least 1 out of 4 goals that must be a 50% chance of failing. And if you're not failing, you're probably not thinking big enough. You're probably not taking enough risk. A classic example of this is Clement, who works at Mindvalley. Clement looked at potential ideas for new experimental apps that Mindvalley can launch. He's working on one right now. It may take off and become huge, or it could likely fail, but it doesn't matter. His job is to take that risk, and there is no punishment or dishonour if he fails. You celebrate that failure and what you learn, and you move on. The full concept is rapid learning. It means constantly making yourself learn to become a better and better and better human being. One of the most beautiful things Vishen has seen in terms of learning is a guy in Mindvalley called Kay. So, while holding down an important job in Mindvalley, he was dashing off on the weekends to university to study for his EMBA, and he became the youngest person in his class to finish that EMBA. And when he completed and got that degree, he brings it back into the company, and every few weeks or so he holds classes for everyone else in the company to teach them what he learned in his EMBA. Not only is he learning, but everyone else is learning. Not surprisingly, he's had an incredible trajectory in the company and has become one of the most valuable people. And finally, perseverance, or as Steven Kotler calls it, grit. So grit is one of the things that we often forget that we need as a high performer. When you're trying to do something big, there are going to be a lot of road bumps on the way. So how do you overcome those road bumps? There are numerous ways, but one of the things that the people at Mindvalley do is the practice of gratitude. Mindvalley's learning experience design team are constantly looking at creating the best learning systems in the world. Vision wants to have the world's greatest learning platforms. Now, that is not an easy task, and when you're working with so many different technologies and authors, you hit road bumps and it can get stressful. So, what Mindvalley team does is that every morning before they start their day, they get on Slack and they share what they are grateful for. Everybody celebrates one tiny aspect of their life that lit them up, and by sharing it with everyone else, they light up the rest of the team. This gives fuel, gratitude gives fuel, to give you more grit, passion and perspective. So, those are the 5 ideas. When you put them together, they give you a recipe for the habit of veracity. I hope you saw some value in them, and I tried to give you really simple, tangible examples so that you could bring this into your workplace and your company as soon as this week. But if you are serious in becoming extraordinary in your personal and work life, don't forget to add me to your favourite social medias. Why? Because I publish on LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube and this blog with content that will transform you into a stronger and smarter entrepreneur, investor and thinker. I also give discount and referral links that you can get access to so you can have juicy discounts on deals on equipment that you may already be thinking of getting. You wouldn't want great discounts and bonuses, would you? Also, I had you motivational quotes that keep you inspired and uplifted. And lastly, is so you never miss a blog post. You can do so on LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, and my blog. Take care everyone, and I will see you in another blog post. And remember, greatness is within. From Adventago. Bye everybody. Remember, links in the description.